Welcome to Oddball. We're here in New York. I'm Charlotte Wilder, Amin Elhassan, and a very special guest named Larry O'Brien.
Oh, I love it when we have a guest in studio.
Me too.
Yeah, this is cool.
This is a real Larry O'Brien trophy. The NBA was kind enough to bring it over to us. That thing is so heavy.
Yeah.
I tried to lift that up and I almost threw out my back. It's 30 pounds. Feels like it's more than that.
It really makes you think when you think like Shaq picking up this and the Finals MVP trophy at the same time.
The idea that anyone could lift this over their head, let alone with one hand, makes me feel like maybe I should start working out. But really, really cool. They have all the champions etched on the second disc here.
Yeah.
It feels like a moment. You're like, oh wow, this is really here.
This is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I've been close to the older one. This is obviously it's a redesigned one that came out a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Now it's got the little netting on it and stuff like that. But yeah, this is pretty awesome.
This is pretty cool. Well, we got to talk about basketball. We have a golden basketball. There's a big game last night.
I know.
We've got to get to.
How
right?
about that?
Yeah.
What a stat line.
Oh my God.
Can you believe it?
Boston was,
Boston.
Well,
No?
yeah, they clinched. They're going to the Eastern Conference Finals.
We're talking Mavs Thunder. That was
What?
the game. That was the game of the night. What are you talking about? No one, we've established nobody watches the Cavs.
All right. Whatever. The Mavs took a 3-2 lead in the series. Luka was 55% on shooting, 31, 10, and 11. Very impressive. Didn't complain to the refs. However,
Didn't he? I feel like this is like a loophole or a technicality gray area where it's like, I'm not going to complain, but I'm going to point out that I'm not complaining. Thus, I'm complaining. It's like when I do the thing, it's like, if I really wanted to deep six this show, I would make this kind of reference right now, but I won't. It's like, well, you just did it though.
right, you just did.
Yeah.
There was definitely an element of, well, this ties into what I want to say about Luka, which is he wants people to know what he's going through and what he is dealing with and what a martyr he is.
Is he going through something?
Well,
I hadn't noticed.
There was the graphic on the TV last night. It's right knee sprain, left knee soreness, back soreness, left Achilles soreness, quote, parentheses, for 4 months. And, first of all, that's going for a run in your mid-30s.
Are we plugging your content? What is this?
Yeah, it was my tweet, and it went viral. And it's been a minute. I can take a victory lap.
I'm surprised you didn't have the wilderthings.substack.com on there.
Also, please subscribe to my Substack.
Wouldn't it be
$5 a month if you want to pay me too, although there is a free version. But this to me feels like Luka, the same way with the refs, of like there's a martyrdom to Luka right now. And I feel like a lot of guys on the court probably have some of those injuries going on too.
At this time of year, no one's healthy, right? We talked about this with the Knicks, like Jalen Brunson and Hartenstein and all the guys that are playing hurt for them. And, Tom Thibodeau the other night after the game said, those are just kind of excuses when people bring that up. And, he praised Jalen Brunson for him not allowing that to be an excuse. Although he's doing the same thing where he said, look, I'm not going to complain about my injuries. I'm not going to make any excuses. You're kind of letting us know that you're injured and you're making excuses when you do that.
Well, he did say, I'm fine, very convincingly.
No, it wasn't convincing. That's the whole point.
You know what might have gotten Luka through, though,
What's that?
I think it might have been the chants of Luka sucks. He said he loves it. Can we play that?
As a competitor, do you thrive on just being able to silence the crowd the way you did in the game that you had?
I love it. And when the chant Luka sucks, it gets me going. It's even better.
Like a weird basketball kink, man.
But Kyrie kind of said the same thing also about, playing in Oklahoma and, it's a very charged environment, which is one way to put it. And they enjoy it. I told the story to you off air yesterday. I was talking to Jay Adande when I was at the NBA Combine. And he told me a story that John Chaney, the legendary Temple head coach, said about being in road environments that are very hostile.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like to be the only guy in the room without a knife, which is an insane, bizarre thought, but also it totally explains what it's like to have 19,000 people hating your guts.
It totally. That's also like poetry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's really good. Get
that tattooed.
Oh, maybe. I don't have any tattoos.
Me neither,
Okay,
but that's a good way to
it's
start.
always a first.
Right? Yeah.
I do think we do have to talk about the Thunder though, because They couldn't hit anything.
Well, they made a tactical decision to bring Josh Giddey off the bench and start Isaiah Joe.
Yep.
Presumably to add spacing, kind of like what the Knicks did when they started Deuce McBride.
Yes.
In over Precious or anyone else, you know. The problem is when you do that, the guy's got to make shots. And Isaiah Joe, lovely name.
I mean, probably one of my probably my favorite name.
A last name for the last name to be a nickname.
Yeah, Joe. It's like it would be like, oh well, there goes Dave, or Steve is dunking.
No, it would be like Stephen Dave or you know, Josh Mike.
Yeah, Michael, Bob.
There you go.
There it is.
Yeah, she gets it.
Do you know my favorite thing though about the Thunder games?
What is it?
How many of them wear how many?
They all do.
All the fans wear the shirt that they
all do.
They get given.
I knew exactly where you were going before you even got the sentence out of here. Like it fascinates me, and what they do is they lift the degree of difficulty, because at first it's like everyone is going to wear a blue shirt, then everyone's going to wear a white shirt, then it's like this section's going to wear blue, this one's going to wear white.
That one blew my mind. I was like, wow, that took coordination.
They are excellent at it. I bet you they could have it spell out words.
I saw something. Do you know what they do before the game? It's like half off beer and food, and so people go in and they zoom in on you on the Jumbotron and shame you if you don't have the shirt on.
Yeah,
which is like the most. I don't even know if Oklahoma's like West, Midwest, South, whatever it is. It's the most that thing of all time.
I don't think they have to shame anybody in Oklahoma. I think these people come in and are pre-programmed. Go, put on my shirt, da-da-da. Other arenas, though, they do that. Come on, put on your shirt.
I would be like, absolutely not. Telling me to put a shirt on would be the best way to get me to not wear it and be like the one person in black in the section of white shirts.
Okay, so let's play this game.
Okay.
Then. Which NBA teams... Which arenas
love this.
Are most likely to put on the shirt?
Okay, so
least likely.
So number one, I think we can agree it's
Oklahoma City. Like they are phenomenal at it. Like every year, every time they're in the playoffs, not even a speck of someone not wearing the shirt.
I know
they've got the courtside people wearing it. Like that's commitment to the bit.
Over the button downs because they just came from work.
That's what they wore on a night out.
Sorry.
You're right. Like you want it to be, because it came from work. Nope. This is just how they dress.
It's like in 2012 when like going out clothes for women was like business casual. It was like in the club with like your briefcase. Anyway, I think the second for me, I would say the Timberwolves, just because of that game where you were like, everybody's wearing the white shirt.
But they were shaming people. For sure.
They were?
They were shaming, like, you there, put on the shirt. And it's funny, like, these people, they had a jersey. It's not like they're not Timberwolves fans.
Yeah, and they had their whole fit ready.
So, like, just put on the shirt, man.
Yeah. What do you think?
I went Indiana. That yellow, they've done that for years, going back to David West and Paul George and those guys. Everybody, it's same vibes as Oklahoma, by the way. Is it Midwest? Right. Is it South? I don't know.
We don't know what it is.
But they like conformity.
But they put the shirts on.
Yeah, they put them on.
Wow. Okay. I like Pacers over Wolves.
Look at that graphic. It just kind of slid out like that.
Yeah, it's really cool. We're very high tech here.
All right. Number 3.
Number 3 for me, I think, is the Cavs. Because I feel like they do it, but there are all these blotches in the crowd.
Yeah.
But most of them do it.
Okay.
And they're excited they're like, oh, free t-shirt.
I'm about to blow your mind.
What?
Miami. And what people would think, Miami, they don't put on the shirts. They do whatever they want. But here's what Miami has done.
What?
First of all, they established it's white. It's white hot heat every year. We don't switch it up. We don't have special ones.
You're right.
But then the other thing is, because it's white, they give you the option of just showing up with your own white shirt. And so a lot of the fancy people, like, I'm putting on my John Varvatos shirt or whatever. But
John Varvatos. That's a wild pull. Emerald Zegna or whatever.
So, but they all wear white shirts. So when you look at it, you get that conformity. Right. But if you look closer, it's like, no, everyone kind of does their own thing. So Miami's sneaky on that level.
Yeah. That puts them at 3. 4. And this is not like the top 4 teams most likely to do this, just so everybody knows. These is like the tiers of most likely to least likely. I'm putting Boston at 4 because there is that New England like stubbornness. You're not going to tell me what to do, but there's also the like puritanical like oh, well, free stuff.
We're-
Like, you know,
That's-
and I say this as someone from there where you're like, oh, kind of a cool shirt, but also like, I want it to be my idea that I put the shirt
Yeah,
on.
there you go. So silly. Yeah, I said Boston too.
Okay.
But then again, I think it's like a Miami thing.
Yeah.
Except they do it all the time. Every time I go to a Celtic game, everybody's wearing green anyway. So
Right. They don't really have to do it.
yeah. Or
Number
least,
5.
least likely of all.
I mean, this isn't even like a debate.
It is a debate
Really?
because I think we don't have the same one.
New York?
I have Lakers.
Whoa.
Los Angeles for sure.
Whoa.
Because they're all like Laker games, they're not here for the men running around in underwear chasing a ball. They're there to let everyone know, I'm at the Laker game.
So true.
And so they all want to throw those fits on and let it be known, like, oh, I'm wearing John Varvatos. And it's not a white shirt, right?
Okay. I do think, though, that there's a stubbornness to New Yorkers because there's still that element of like, they're fancy people here. The fits are different. The fits are more like,
You know what?
lower key, maybe?
You know what New York leads the league in?
What?
Guys who are coming from work
Yes.
in like the slacks and a button-up shirt,
With the jersey.
the jersey over it. The jersey over the collared shirt drives me nuts.
Same.
You look
And
like
they're
such
always
a clown.
courtside, like right
Yep.
behind Tibbs.
Yeah, yes.
Like you see Tibbs scowling, and then you see like 3 finance guys with jerseys over there.
And acting a fool.
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
Saying like, you suck to
Yeah.
Tyrese Halliburton.
Like faces all red and stuff. But I won't hold them because acting a fool is kind of the God-given trait of every Knicks fan,
Yes,
right?
yes.
From my cousin Proof, like humble guy from Queens, all the way up to celebrities and stars like Ben Stiller.
Dude, we talked about this before. He's tweeting through it like a Knicks fan.
Unhinged.
He tweeted, can you imagine trying to get 20,000 New Yorkers to wear the same t-shirt?
See?
So maybe I was swayed by that because I
Yeah.
did see that.
But also, that's him doing the like, we're so cool, like Oklahoma, you cornballs.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
cool. But Ben Stiller, we done seen your tweets. There's no way you can be cool at this point on talking about basketball. Movies, comedy, you're fine. Talking about basketball, I know who you are. You know, we had the oddball analytics team.
Yes.
It's our crack research staff, not to be confused with our research staff on crack.
Oh, wow.
They dug deep into Ben Stiller's Twitter activity.
Okay.
And
What did we find?
there we go. We got a little graphic there.
Since April 16th, 402 tweets, retweets, or replies
By
from
Ben
Ben
Stiller.
Stiller.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so that's his output volume. A pie chart. Only 27 were not about the Knicks. So 7% of his tweets were not about the Knicks. And I believe one of those was about the Rangers.
93%. 93%. Wow. Can we zoom this in a little bit? I don't need to see myself. There it is. Okay.
Yeah, it says only 12.
Well, severance?
That is a great stat. God.
That's insane. Like he's active.
Yes.
Like
Very.
he wakes up in the morning and he's like, I wonder how Jalen Brunson's doing.
People need my takes. We should have him on Oddball. Ben, give us your hottest takes. This is a safe space.
See, this is the problem. So this is what I've discovered for all of my fame. I'm not saying he's one of my famous friends, but my famous friends who are Knicks fans, they don't want to appear on anything because they fear like, oh, that's going to jinx it. You're going through this.
Yeah, my husband, I was like, we have a Larry O'Brien trophy. Do you want to come see it? And he was like, oh, absolutely not. Cannot get close to that thing. Big jinx. And I was like, Knicks fans the werewolves are coming out.
Jerry Ferrara came on my radio show like 4 years ago. It was during the Atlanta Hawks Knicks series.
Yeah.
And then like they didn't win a game after that. And he said, I'm never doing your show again.
And he hasn't?
He hasn't.
That's incredible. Can we please talk about the Celtics?
Do we have to?
Yes. I mean, they clinched. They're going to the Eastern
Okay.
Conference Finals.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I mean, is it like there's something there, right? That just you feel it. I can sense it coming off of you. Like you don't. There's no joy behind this. I'm like, yeah, third straight trip to the conference finals. Yeah, you know,
No.
you got the easiest path to the finals. You know, allegedly, either whether it's the Pacers or the Knicks. It's like that's not exactly the world beater.
Right.
That on the other side of the ledger, the Nuggets, if they advance, they're gonna have to play the Thunder or the Mavs. Those are like really scary teams.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I've like Tatum afterwards. I think part of what's going on in his post-game interview, he was like, look, Draymond said it to him. He was like, nobody cares that you're going to the Eastern Conference Finals now. Because and Tatum was like, I know. He was like, we've got to get it done. Like, this isn't about being there.
So let me ask you this. Let's assume trip to the conference finals in 8 years, which is an insane run. Like that's excellence upon excellence upon excellence, right? But if they don't win a championship, do you look back at this era as like, what a waste of time? Or do you look back fondly?
No, for me, I would definitely look back fondly. I would be like, that wasn't crazy excellence that we saw. And I've gotten a lot of joy out of it. And I think, especially 2022 when they went to the finals like that, I think I cried in TD Garden. Like there was something so emotional and like visceral about it. I think last year was really hard. I think that Heat loss, there's still a hangover this year that fans and I think the team are a little spooked.
Yeah.
I feel like what the Celtics have been though, I mean, I finally realized it because Joe Mazzulla said this. Do we have that quote?
Yeah, I think we have it.
Let's run that.
Everybody wants to win until it's really time to win, because then you got to nut up and do a bunch of shit that you don't want to do. So the guys, credit to them, they consistently do that.
Okay, before I get to my analogy, first of all, just Al Horford. Let's give the big man some love. His stat line, he's the first ever player with 20 points, 15 rebounds, 3
blocks, and 5 3-pointer made.
Numbers. Yeah, thank you. Anyway, and he's the oldest player left in the playoffs. He's about to turn 38.
You mean 78?
Oh, come on.
He's old.
Oh, I love Al.
He's an old man.
Al, Drew, they were all doing what Mazzulla was saying.
Yes.
And Tatum had a good game. Like, they finally are getting there.
I'm not impressed. Like, is it okay for me to say I'm not impressed? No Jared Allen, no Karis LeVert, no Donovan Mitchell. Like, you should have beat him by 40. Like, that's, like, you're a super team.
Well, not according to Jason Tatum. You know what the Celtics are? I mean, I finally realized that there's this they've been a luxury all year. This is like, they were first class. Like, you get on the plane, they greet you with a mimosa.
Yes.
You kick your feet up. They don't even yell at you if you put your seat back before you take off.
Back, it turns into a bed. What are you talking about?
Turns into a bed. They can choose their seats. Like, do you want window or to be in a pod in the middle for it's darker? And now they're finding themselves like, oh, wait, we actually, like, in the playoffs, we're going to have to maybe fly coach sometimes. Like,
heaven forbid.
We might be in the middle seat.
Ew.
We might have to,
share armrests?
Yeah, because there's this feeling of like, you're going to have to get scrappy. I think that the Knicks have a chance against them. If they're playing, like, maybe not to win, they have a chance to, like, get games off of them if Boston doesn't get more comfortable sitting in coach.
Charlotte can never go home.
Yes, I can. I'm going to go home. I'm going to go home. People love me in Boston. I love you, Boston. I love the Celtics. I'm just being,
You're having a healthy kind of, you know what it is? You sound like Red Sox fans prior to 2004.
Thank you.
Like,
I think.
That's what they were like. They were always like waiting for the next shoe to drop or whatever. The team they beat, the Cavs, the Athletic, I guess, did the postmortem, the autopsy or whatever, which they do for every team that's eliminated. I guess people are surprised that it comes out with such expeditious timing. And I had to reveal on the production call, they're like, it's already written. They wrote one for every single team.
You used to do it.
I used to do it for ESPN.com, Insider. Yeah.
Wow.
Sold subs. Yeah. But yeah, it's like because we already know the beats and the rhythms of, like, the Cavs. We know Donovan Mitchell, is he going to stay or not? He's got 1 year left on his deal. Should they move him? We know Darius Garland is probably unhappy because he's been, in this weird position. We know that the two big lineup doesn't feel like it's very sustainable. JB Bickerstaff, is he doing a good job? Is he not doing a good job? Like these aren't things that just emerged in last night's game. We've been knowing these things. So the ability to write something like that is not hard at all. And quite frankly, they've got one, like I said, for every single team. They got one for the Nuggets. Like, did they play the young guys enough, right? They got one for the Mavericks. Like, hey, can Kyrie and Luka continue to do this working together? They got one for the Pacers. They need to add a scorer. So, like, this is normal.
Yeah. That's how the sausage is made.
Yeah.
There's a real, like, this is what goes on behind the scenes, folks. All right. We're gonna toss to a little game we're gonna play with Larry.
Oh, he plays games?
Yeah. Well,
okay.
He's here for them.
All right.
Welcome back to Oddball. Charlotte Wilder, Amin Elhassan, Larry O'Brien
That's my
in
guy.
studio with us, the trophy. Since he's here, we play this game on Oddball called Odds and Ends. As you know, we're going to play Trophy Edition.
Oh.
Are you ready?
Do I win the Larry O'Brien if I win the game?
No.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to start with Wemby because you know how people are always like, he's an alien. They have the Nike spot in his shoe and everything coming out. Well, he has an extensive knowledge of outer space.
Does he?
Yeah. The trophy for best NBA astronomer goes to Victor Wembanyama because check out what he said about dark matter in a press conference.
This is dark matter, very sci-fi. We can't see it, we can't observe it, but we can observe its influence. We know it's there because it's got influence on gravitational pulls, and its presence inside galaxies is 5 times higher than regular seeable matter. So it's a huge mystery.
Remember when you guys were worried about how's his command of the English language?
Well, yeah. When I said, can you say remember the Alamo in French? What is the Elmo?
What is the Alamo?
Yeah, he really nailed that. I also love space stuff. So,
do you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. String theory. Oh, my God.
Okay. There's math in that.
Well.
He's a big Star Wars fan, by the way. Wembanyama.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
We could talk to him about that.
Well, maybe.
Someday.
All right. Let's go to the next one. And I'm
Okay.
really happy about this one.
Okay.
Best head. So as we know, I have a time machine. I traveled to the future. I came back. I let you guys know that the Nuggets would tie the series 2-2,
Yeah,
and
you did.
we end up winning and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And no big deal. It's a DeLorean. But a DraftKings user placed $100 bet on a parlay, 3-legged parlay. Right. First leg is Chiefs win the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
Second leg is Texas Rangers win the World Series.
Oh, my God.
And then the third leg is OKC wins the NBA title. The first two obviously happened. So he stood to win $1.7 million if OKC ends up winning it all. But he cashed out after OKC tied the Dallas series 2-2 at 80 grand.
Oh.
Now they're down 3-2. So he kind of saw the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
He borrowed my DeLorean.
Oh, my God. I would not have done that, probably.
You would not have cashed out?
Oh, no. I guess I would have.
Absolutely.
That's
80
it.
grand?
I
for
know. I
$100
mean,
bucks?
he was smarter than I was. I think I would
You would've
delusionally.
held?
I would have been like, maybe I'll do it next game, give him one more shot. But that's the move.
80 grand. And
That's the move.
by the way, he should have cashed out when they were up 1-0.
You're right.
That would have been the move right there.
Wow.
Yeah. But his name is Wayne Shelton, by the way.
That sounds like someone who is on Whose Line Is It Anyway with Drew
That's
Carey.
Wayne Brady.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
The Wayne.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tripped me up. Okay, next on to our contractually obligated LeBron James
I know.
segment.
And look, it took us about 25 minutes to
I
get
know,
there.
but we got here.
Okay.
Actually, it's not even LeBron James. This is a loophole. It's LeBron James Jr.
Okay.
This is
there you go.
Bronny.
Well, I'm sure that the Bechtel test will pass, and it's just about Bronny, and it has nothing to do with his dad, right?
Yes, no, nothing to do with his dad.
Okay.
It's nothing about how a reporter asked Bronny if he dreamed about playing with his dad, and he gave this answer.
No, never. My dream has always just been to put my name out, make a name for myself, and of course, get to the NBA, which is everyone's end goal is here. And I never thought about just playing with my dad, but he's brought it up a couple times.
I'm sorry, he's brought it up a couple times.
Yeah. You know what's funny about Bronny is that he's for someone who's as high profile as he is, he has a very little media experience. I'm not saying whether he's good at it or not, just I'm saying opportunities and reps, because for the most part, he's kind of lives a sheltered life that a player of his kind of repute would probably do a lot more media.
True. I can't remember a time that I have seen a Bronny press conference clip.
Yeah.
And it made only when I saw it did I realize we don't see these a lot.
Yeah. It's funny because he's going through, we talked about it with Lonzo Ball and LaMelo Ball, the idea that you're not playing or you're not doing your stuff. You're not representing yourself. It's someone else that you're fighting against.
Yep.
And for all the people say, oh yeah, of course he wants to play with his dad. Think about your dad. Did you want to hang out with your dad when you were 19?
Yeah, my dad's pretty cool,
All
but
right,
yeah,
of course.
anyway. Thank you so much to the NBA and to
man.
Larry for being here with us. This was really special.
He's on a tour, right?
Yeah, he's on tour. Check out at NBA Finals Trophy to see what he's up to. And if you were listening to this instead of watching, check it out on YouTube. Yeah, shame on you. On YouTube or the DraftKings Network so you can see this beautiful, shiny hunk.
Gold.
He's a hunk.
He's a hunk of gold?
Yeah.
That's how
Gold plated.
No, don't say that.
Sorry.
It's 100% gold,
Sorry,
I
it's
tell
full
you.
gold.
Full gold.
All right.
Is it cake? Give me a knife.